What's going on, everybody? Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
It's always business, never personal.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for tuning in. So today, we're going to learn today, learning lesson. No judgment, just learning from another person's choices and decisions, right? Thinking game. Life is a thinking game. Every choice you make, you cannot pick the consequences. You make the choice, you got to deal with what come with it. So, today's topic, we're going to talk about some things floating around in the NBA. So, before I do that, let's do this. Hit the like button. Help us grow. Help us get to 1K subscribers. We're not asking for money. We just asking for your like and subscribe to help us grow. And as we grow, we can possibly move into a studio. I think people are liking the video I made for my wife. Happy anniversary to my wife. 12th anniversary. Made a tiny desk for her. Little small, tiny desk for her. So shout out to Ashley Gray. Happy 12th anniversary, babe. Today's our anniversary. So I wanted to do a learning from another person's decision. No judgment. These are allegations. There are allegations that Jalen Green has 3 children on the way by 3 different women. So I want to talk about this from a thinking angle, no judgment, just a learning moment, especially for the young men. I know I'm 40, so my days been over. But to my young brothers out there, I really want to take this time out to give you some points about when you out here playing the dating game, how things can go, especially if you from the inner city, you trying to get out the inner city, and we can get into it with the next slide. How to get out of survival mode. This is for the inner city youth. When we think about Jalen Green, hope is not true, but it's out there. A lot of people talk about on different podcasts, saying he got 3 kids on the way, 3 different women. One of them was Drea Michelle. I don't think they already talked about the other 2. But here's the thing. When you're in your 20s, especially kids in the inner city, you have to know this. Really want you to think about this. Do not set yourself back with spur of the moment decisions. Because all it takes is a minute to make a spur of the moment decision that could cost you years of responsibility, whether it's a kid, whether it could be health reasons, could be a lot of things. So what do I mean by set yourself back? When I say set yourself back, I mean put yourself at a disadvantage. Kids are beautiful. I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about how he got to the point of having kids. As a person who grew up in a blended family, let me tell you, it's not cool. You may think it's cool starting out, but as you get older, kids are in different homes with different women. You have to go by and get the kids, or go by and visit your kids, but they deal with the other women. You got jealousy involved. Like if the women don't like the lifestyle that you living with another woman that you could have been living with her, that could be an issue. There are a lot of disadvantages to having kids by different women, and I've seen it with my own two eyes. Somehow I escaped that um, when I was younger, but as a person in his 20s, most dudes in the inner city, I'm not gonna say all, I'm gonna say about 60, 70% of dudes in the inner city play around the dating game, and some lose, some don't. They don't come out clean, or nobody really comes out clean, but most dudes come out. They have multiple kids, and not most. I'm gonna say a percentage. I'm gonna say about maybe 12% from what I saw come out and they have like multiple kids by multiple women, and it's a hard way to maintain and live life. Matter of fact, let me know in the comments what you think about this. The choices you make now can affect your mental health later. Let me know in the comments. Is that the truth?
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Choices you make now can affect your mental health later. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Because at the end of the day, you have to make good decisions. When you were younger, you don't have any money, you don't have the resources. Choices, time investment in choices is your greatest asset. But if you invest your time to having sex, especially out of wedlock, having kids with multiple women, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. And what happens is, I know for him, he thinking he invincible because he about to get on, I guess, a supermax contract. But what happens, what you don't understand is, kids cost money. They go to court, that's gonna cost money. Child support, that's gonna cost money. Not only are you gonna pay it on one child, you talking about 3 times child support. That's probably gonna be coming down the pipe. Can't blame nobody but himself. He brought the situation on himself. You don't know how it's gonna play out. Most of the time, from what we see with our own two eyes,
It's always business. Never personal.
they're gonna come after him in court. Most of the time. About 70, 80% of the time. They're gonna go to court, they're gonna go to child services, and they're gonna put him on child support. Because he's an NBA player. But guess what? My young brothers living in the city, the same things happen to guys in the inner city as well. But the difference is, a lot of times you don't have the money to pay child support, especially with multiple kids. You really got to keep a job, find a job and keep a job. Because if you get back, if you fall behind on child support, they can put you in jail. Then you really fall behind. Where do you get the money from? So something to think about, man. Your choices and decisions are very important. Very important when you're trying to get out of survival mode, especially when you're living in the inner city. When you're trying to get out the belly of the whale, you got to make good choices, good decisions, and invest your time in things that can help you get to that next level, whether it's education, whether it's an apprenticeship, whether it's some kind of management program. You need to be trying to get above 50,000 as quickly as possible. That's what I say. That's like a target number, about 50,000 and above. You want to try to get there when you're young, like in your 20, about 20 to 25, somewhere in there. Because you got to think how much it costs to live now. You be looking at almost $2,000 just for modest living. $2,000, 2 to about $4,000 somewhere in there a month to pay your bills, rent. If you get a car, unless you get a cash car, you can kind of negate some of that. But you still may be like in the twos, something like that. Mid twos, something like that. Because you still got to pay for gas. You still got food is getting higher. I mean, I think I bought me and my wife 2 bags of chips and 2 drinks, and it was like $11. You can hardly get something at a fast food restaurant for $11. So it's something to think about. Let's go to the next slide. Don't allow your success to blind you. Don't do it. It's so easy to do. It's so easy when you think you're ahead and you start making spur of the moment decisions. Oh, I can recover. It's all good. I got it. And when you give a 22-year-old that much money, he already counted in his head. He feel like he's invincible. I hope he don't feel like this. I hope he kind of wise up. But he feel like he can afford the lifestyle until you can't afford it no more. I don't know if he ever watched the documentary Broke. I don't know if he ever saw the NBA players before him. But the money, if you don't make good decisions, invest your time wisely, the money can run out. The situation don't stop, but the money will stop. And then the thing is he's generating money now. What happens when he's not generating money anymore? What happens? When you're not making the $200 million anymore. One day he's gonna retire. He's not gonna be making supermax contracts forever. But the child support gonna keep coming. And you gotta foot the bill. 18 years. I think 18, 19 years. Yeah, 18, 19 years. It's coming. That's why you gotta be smart out here. And you gotta avoid the heat as much as you can. Don't allow resources to factor your decisions. They won't always last. I just really talk about that real quick. Why do I say that for? Making decisions based on the money that you have now is dangerous because you don't know what's coming in the future. I mean, God forbid, I don't want nothing to happen to him, but injury, value could just be lost. You know, your what am I trying to say? Your on the court value could drop. So you have to be careful. You got to be wise, man, with your resources, wise with your time, wise with your decision making. Tell you, decision making is people sleep on it, but it's one of the most important things as an adult that can separate the good from the great. And I made plenty of mistakes. That's why I'm saying I made plenty of mistakes. But the minute I started to wise up and make better decisions, the mistakes minimized. Few here and there, but they minimized instead of just mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Mistake. Just shooting up stuff. But when you start to wise up, you start stacking. Good decision, good decision, good decision, good decision. Having a kid by one woman, not married, bad decision. Second kid by another woman, not married, bad decision. Third kid by another woman, not a good decision. I'm not judging, I'm just telling you from experience, not a good decision. Because it's going to cost him. However much they get, just keep your eye on the story when they go. See how much they're going to get. Because I guarantee you, most of the time, 80% of the time, Most of the women that get pregnant by athletes, they're not trying to get married to them. They just trying to cash in with the kid, and they want to get it for 18 years. A lot of times they don't even put the money towards the kid. They really put it towards themselves. And I can see they could use some of the money towards themselves because they harboring the baby and they raising the baby. But all of it, then when the kid turn 18, is nothing put up for the kid. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother discussion. But what I'm saying to you young brothers is don't allow your success to blind you. Even for us regular dudes, some success, you get any kind of glimmer of success when you young, it blinds you. You feel like you're on top of the world. You make 45, 50,000 or 60,000 in your 20s, you'll feel like you're on top of the world compared to the average person living in the inner city that's not making that. So our next slide. How careless is these alleged decisions that he made? If they were made, how careless are they? He's gonna find out. I hope that he can get this resolved and it don't cost him. But I'm telling you, 80% of the time it costs when you have multiple kids by multiple women. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you in time, cost you in money, or both. And you only can be one place at one time. But how many women is gonna live in the same house? Not gonna. That's the chances of that happening is very rare. And I just say sometimes you just don't be thinking. All you be doing is shooting stuff up without thinking. If I pull the trigger, what happens next? And when you make those flush decisions, you can't. A lot of times it's gonna cost you some years. It's gonna cost you responsibility. It's gonna cost you mental. Like I said earlier, choices you make now can affect your mental health later. So be wise with your choices. The next one, how to make better choices when in survival mode. What I mean by this, when you in survival mode, let's say you graduate high school, you don't have the resources or you don't have an inheritance or you don't have all these assets like some families have. It's just you as an individual. You have to understand, you have to be intentional about your strategy, about choices that you make, things that you do. When I graduated, I really focused on working, but I should have focused on working and educating myself so I can move up instead of doing it one step at a time. You start moving up 2 or 3 steps by educating yourself, whether it was an apprenticeship. Because you want to work somewhere that count towards something. Working at a retail place, unless you're trying to be the manager or general manager, if not, if you're working there 5, 6 years in a retail place and that's all you're doing, that time is not going towards anything but just working there. And if you lose a job, all you have is the retail experience. But let's say if you work at a hospital, let's say if you work at a big retail place and you get in the management program, now the time is starting to go towards something, management experience. You work at a hospital, the time is going towards somewhere. If you get in like a scrub tech or radiology or nursing program, now the time that you're investing in that workplace is going towards something in order for you to have in the future so you can expand and scale up. Nothing worse than being at a place and not being able to scale up. You find out real quick on what the ceiling is. Got a comment. Appreciate that, Timothy. Working in the hospital has a lot of transferable skills. You are correct, my friend. A lot of transferable skills. And for some reason, I'm going to say this. We have tricked ourselves that we don't have to go to school, which is crazy. Because what I didn't know Well, what I'm going to tell somebody so they can know is you can go to school for 4 years, get a bachelor's degree. I can't remember what bachelor's degree you get it in, and then get another 4 years, go to pre med and be a doctor, and you can make six figures for the rest of your career working in the medical field. Everybody's not going to the NBA. Let me say that again.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Everybody's not going to the NBA. But if you put in the work, do your homework, put your 4 years in for your degree, get your master's, go to med school, you can be a doctor. You just got to do the work. Somehow we fooled ourselves and thinking we don't want to do the work. It's too hard. And I'm telling you from experience, most of the easy jobs don't pay. Not that well. Take it from a person who worked a lot of easy jobs. And I'm gonna have to find. I think I got my old resume floating around Dropbox or something somewhere. I can show you all of the easy jobs I worked when I was younger, before I got into IT. They don't pay that much. The most you probably can get is about 40, if you can find an easy job to pay that. But most time when you get past 45, you're talking about skill level jobs. So don't fool yourself thinking you don't need education when you do. You don't have to go to college. You can go be a scrub tech. Give the surgeon the tools at the hospital. A lot of things you can do. Working in IT. You don't have to get a 4-year degree, but it'll be good. It'll be better for you in the long run if you did. And then when you learn something new, say easy to hire means to easy to replace you. Yes. The less skill you have, the easier it is to replace you.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
You can be easily replaced. Think about all these retail stores. Every 3 or 4 years, you see turnover. You see new faces. And then the people who are the managers and work there, they look tired sometimes. Like they really don't want to come to work today. You're up on your feet all day. But there are jobs that pay way more than retail. And you don't have to do half of the labor that you have to do working there, like a retail place or, big box stores with like a Home Depot or Lowe's or something. There are jobs out there. If you just go to school, or even if you do an apprenticeship, those years go towards you being your own person. Appreciate the comments, Timothy. Appreciate it. Retail is a thankless job. Difficult customers all day, every day. There's another thing about working in retail. Sometimes your job can be dependent upon another person. A person can be having a bad day, come in and mess up your day, and then report you to the manager, and your job can be done just like that. Sometimes it ain't even about whether it's true or not. It can just be a zero tolerance time at the job. And just because the person makes the allegation or report, they'll let you go just because it's zero tolerance, whether it's true or not. And I've been in those situations. It happened to me before. And I just told myself, I just don't want to put myself in a position where my job's dependent upon a person can say something and I can lose my job just because they had a bad day and the domino affected down on me. So, please don't get caught up in thinking I can just go work at Amazon or work at a retail place. If you work at Amazon, you should be able to scale up. Don't just be a regular worker for 15 years at Amazon. You should scale up. And I hope I'm making sense. Because if you don't, they're not going to say nothing to you. They just going to work you for the 15 years. And it's up to you
Well, I just come to tell you.
Next slide. Where we going? I think this kind of towards the last slide. Let's see. How is these choices going to cost him financially in the future? We kind of talked about that with Jalen Green. How is it going to cost him? He's probably, most of the time, I'm telling you, most of the time, 80% of the time, they're going to put you on child support. They want to try to get 20 grand a month or however much your contract is, because they don't know why they publicize this stuff now. And they're going to go to court. As soon as they find out them numbers, 80%, I'm going to say 80%, they're going to go to court. And it's going to cost. It's going to cost them in time, because now you got 3 different birthday parties you got to go to, 3 different school events you got to go to. They don't live in the same house. They could possibly live in different states. Even if they live in the same state, now you got to deal with drama. Why are you doing this for them but not for me? I want more money now. So you got to be smart. Shout out to Jacob. Appreciate the comment. I would also say save as much money as you can. Always have an exit strategy at these dead-end jobs. Yes, you should always have an exit strategy at a dead-end job. Before I touch on that, Jacob, I want to say this one thing about Jalen. I'm going to get off of it. Understand that there are a group of women who leverage child support on wealthy men. Before you get into the NBA,
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
before you get into the NBA, you have to understand that there are women that are going to target you. They're going to try to take you to the cleaners as much as they can. It's a cat and mouse game. So you have to be smart about who you associate yourself with. You got to be smart who you hang out with. You just got to be wise and smart all the way around the board. So when you make spur of the moment decisions and you shooting up stuff, out there shooting up stuff, got a hair trigger, and now you're going to have to, it's going to cost you. Baller alert, women, yeah, baller alert. These women, and people, I don't think people understand, the average person, these women, we're not talking about the average woman you see at Walmart. These women are going to pull out their best to try to get you. And if you don't have no sense or no wisdom, you thinking that they doing it for you. Or they doing it for you, all right, but they doing it for, they trying to get it.
Blade, ready to die.
So, and then when they get you,
It's always business. Never personal.
that's how they look at it. It's business, not personal. But you should have made a decision. You should have had your mindset together before you got to the league so you can have a more efficient path. Don't make your path harder, even in the inner city. When you graduate high school, your path, you're an individual now. You make your own path. It's so much information out there now. That's why with Jalen Green, I'm trying to think, why would he get himself in this situation? So much information out there now. So many documentaries out there now. So many case studies with situations out there now that can help you avoid being in these situations. Because like I said earlier, the choice you make now can affect your mental health, can affect your money later, all of that. One choice can do that. So you got to be wise. And I'm not judging. I'm trying to teach my young brothers. One choice can change the game for you. It can make it hard or it can make it easy for you. They train for it the same way players train for their spot. They do. They do. And I want to get back to Jacob's comment right here. I would also say save as much money as you can. Always have an exit strategy at these dead-end jobs. A lot of these dead-end jobs, when you're making $50,000 or less, I want to tell you something. It's very hard to save. You have to live off less than what you make. Discipline is one of the most hardest things to learn as a youngster. I'm telling you, as a 40-year-old in your 20s, discipline is one of the most hardest things to learn as a youngster. If you can learn discipline, financial discipline, dating discipline, controlling yourself, not shooting up everything, learn discipline. Learn how to keep yourself under rein. That will take you further than a lot of this other stuff you see on social media. If you learn how to, when you work a job, understand what's your next move. You got to think ahead. You got to have foresight, especially as a man. You got to have foresight. But you don't develop foresight if you keep making spur-of-the-moment decisions. Because now all you're doing is trying to patch up this situation, that situation, because a spur-of-the-moment decision. So we got to be smart out here, my young brothers. We got to be smart. Don't matter the color. Discipline, don't care what color you are. A good choice, don't care what color you are. A skill, don't care what color you are. Good choices, high skill level, and wisdom used in a proper direction can get you past race situations. It can get you through unfairness. It's easy to be treated unfair when you don't have the skill, when you're not wise in your decision making, and you don't have a plan. It's so easy to be treated unfair. Man, it's too easy. But it's hard to pass up somebody with a high skill level. Think about Jalen Green. Think about the girls he's talking to. Those girls, quote unquote, to him has a high skill level. So it was hard to pass them up. Same way in the regular world as a brother. When you're in the workplace, the higher your skills, the harder it is to be passed up. But if you have no skill, it's easy to be passed up, no matter the color. I've seen all colors get done in by not having a skill set to maintain. Okay, what color you are, apple, orange, banana, avocado, or coconut, whatever. Don't have the skill set. See what happens. All right, guys. Be sure to check out our podcast we do on Thursday. Thinking Game Podcast. We do it around 6 or 7 on Thursdays. We go live on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to go to the YouTube channel, CTM TV Little Rock, or CTM TV LR, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter or X. Make sure to go there and follow and subscribe. Help us get to 1K. And I appreciate everybody for watching. And I'm going to close with this. Please be wise and make good decisions. And remember, one choice made now
Always business.
can affect your mental health later. This is Mike, and I'm signing out.